Well, hi. It is Monday, October 21st, 2024, and time for another morning coffee. My name's Todd Studer. So happy to have you along, and I had a crazy busy weekend, and we're going to talk about that. But up first, let's find out where this morning's coffee cup is from. This one is, I'm going to hope that I pronounce this correctly, Chiricahua National Monument. It's in southern Arizona, and it was, well, what year was it? I think it was 2019 that I'd gone on a camping trip. The idea was it was November, and I was needed to go someplace warmer for camping, and I thought, well, why not go to Arizona? And I was in southern Arizona, and it was a national forest, very, very close to the Mexican border, within a couple of miles. And when I got down there, there were some other folks that were kind of setting up in the camping area. So I went over to say hi, and they asked me, well, what kind of gun did you bring? What kind of gun did I bring? I didn't bring a gun. Number one, I'm from Iowa. Number two, I don't even own any guns. It's not something, I camp. I'm not hunting. And they said, well, I wouldn't be down here without a gun. And I said, well, why not? I said, well, this is a smuggling area that apparently there's cartel activity coming up from south of the border straight through there. And if they see you when you're out hiking, they don't want you to have seen them, and that can be the end of it. So no, I didn't do any hiking when I was there. I did spend one night and then packed everything up and got out of there, and pulled out my phone, checked on Google, and I said, where can I hike? And it was one of the things that popped up was this Chiricahua National Monument. It was about a 2.5-hour ride in the wrong direction. I was headed back towards New Mexico, but it was still in Arizona. And when I got there, wow, it was just tremendous. And you can take a look here at I took a video when I was hiking of just what it was like there. Oh my, it was just so beautiful. Reminded me a lot of Bryce Canyon, only it was a different color, and there was a lot more trees and things like that there, but beautiful. Not a full national park, just a national monument, but I was there for a few hours, and I think I'd like to go back for a few days sometime. So that's where this morning's mug is from. Crazy busy weekend. On Friday, I had an opportunity to be the MC at an event, the NAMI Annual Gala. It's their biggest fundraiser of the year, and what an evening. It was a packed house. They'd sold 180 tickets. It completely filled the room. It was at the Oakland Community Center, and they did very, very well with their silent auction items. As I was walking around, I noticed that there was a lot of names on every single item that was up for that silent auction. So thank you, everyone who took part in that. And also, thank you to the entertainment. I was just introducing people. I wasn't the entertainment at all. But Dee Dolan and Jarrell Roach, a pair of comedians. Dee is from Neola, and Jarrell is from Omaha. Boy, he did just a phenomenal job. Take a look here. And he does something called people's comedy and really gets the crowd involved. And at this point, it was a sing-along. I think this particular video, we were doing Neil Diamond, which is that one's kind of a layup. If you want to get people to sing along, have them play Sweet Caroline. Works every time. But thank you to everyone who came out, and also thank you to NAMI Southwest Iowa, Anna, Brittany, Stephanie, everyone involved with NAMI. Thank you for all of the hard work that you do, and also thank you for asking me to be a part of it. I was truly honored, and it was a wonderful evening, and was really enjoyed it. Then Saturday came along, and if you're an Iowa State fan, you're happy, but pretty much every other college football fan in the area is not. Things did not go well for Nebraska or Iowa. So, well, put it in the rearview mirror and load it up again next week and hope for something better. Also, on Saturday night, I had an opportunity to go down to Waubonsee State Park. There was would you call it a retreat? I'm not really sure. It's called the Low High Trek. This is something that's only a few years old. And a friend of mine, local videographer here in town, Kyle Rainey, has been doing this for a couple of years. And we had talked about him being a guest on my podcast, Campfire Conversations. And he said, well, why don't you come down? And we scheduled this weeks ago. Why don't you come down and to Waubonsee where we're doing this and we can record there? I didn't really have any understanding about it. And I got an opportunity to sit in it was kind of like a debriefing, or everybody just talking about their day of how their hikes went and things like that. I'm not going to get into details about it, but you've heard that phrase or that saying, I wish I had been a fly on the wall. I got to be that fly on the wall, and I got to just kind of sit in on this, and I can see why it is so popular. I know that somebody had made the comment there, and he said he's stealing this line from Forrest Gump. I may not be a smart man, but I know what love is. And he said, all of this is love. And that's what it felt like. It was tremendous to be able to sit in on that. And let's check in with Kyle here. Here's a little bit of that recording, and he talks about just what this event is.
This is my second year participating in this event, which is called the Low High Trek. And it's a group of 50 people, and we're hiking a section of the Loess Hills through Iowa. Kelly Magdigan, who started this trail, started it during COVID, and she wanted to walk the whole entirety of the Loess Hills from state border to state border. So she started basically in Minnesota.
So the hills actually go all the way up to Minnesota?
They do, and actually they extend a little bit further. They do go down into Missouri.
Yeah.
Too. And so, yeah, she walked that in 2020 and 2021.
Is there a trail that goes the whole way?
There is not a trail that goes the whole way.
Yeah.
More on that later.
Okay.
So she started doing that, and then people just kind of like, what are you doing? And I mean, I messaged her in 21, I think, and was like, hey, what's your GPX file? That's the map, essentially, for apps for tracking. And so, yeah, I did my first one last year. Which was pretty much all the way north, Sioux City. So we did some conservation areas up there, all the way down to like Stone State Park and the Dorothy Nature Center that's up there. But the cool thing about this trip is like there is not a trail that goes everywhere through, but there are lots. And the organizers of this trip contact private landowners and like conservation lands that normally people can't walk on, and they get permission for us to like go through these areas that like you normally aren't able to traffic on your own. So that's really cool. And we've done a little bit of that on this trip. We got to stay at some private land, which was super unique. I can't really talk about it.
No, I get it.
We were asked not to talk about it. So that's kind of part of being on this trip, is you get to experience different areas of the wilderness that most people don't normally get to go to.
So I'm going to look a little bit more into this and see when they do the next one. Maybe I can jump in and be a part of it. They take care of everything, and you pay your entry fee to get in, and then they're going to handle the camping stuff. They're going to make sure you eat, give you a map and everywhere that you need to go that you're going to be hiking that day. And it's very interactive, and the idea is to reinvigorate everyone's love of the Loess Hills and taking the beauty. And what a wonderful time to be there. It was beautiful Saturday night. Fall color is out. Still a ways to go, I think, before it's peak color, but it was beautiful. And really enjoyed driving around and taking a look. And the campgrounds were full. It was busy at Wabansie over the weekend. So again, thank you to those folks. Thanks, Kyle, for inviting me down there for that. We have some new sponsors on Morning Coffee. We want to thank Travis with AirServe Heating and Air Conditioning, and also Waldstein Plumbing. When I first met Travis several years ago, I learned pretty quickly just what kind of man he was. And he has this philosophy that if you're going to be in business and you're going to be in the trades, you need to communicate with people. You need to make sure that you're getting those calls back. You know how it is. A lot of times when you call somebody, you need some work done and you can't get a hold of anybody. And sometimes it's really, really tough. That's not the case with AirServe Heating and Air Conditioning and Waldstein Plumbing. They have staff to make sure that it takes care of that and get to you and get things taken care of in a timely fashion. So highly recommend AirServe Heating and Air Conditioning, and also Waldstein Plumbing. And Service Mastery Store by Schmader, Cindy Schmader. This is her organization, and this is one of those businesses where you don't need it till you need it. Because if you have disaster, whether it might be a flood, might be a fire, and you might think everything's a total loss, but Cindy a lot of times can come in and say, you know what, I think maybe we can save some of these things. You're a lot of things that go through that type of disaster, and you think you've lost all of your memories. Well, let's find out whether or not some of these things can be saved and restored. And that's why Service Master Restore by Schmader exists. I've known Cindy for several years too, and just an upstanding lady, and I trust her integrity. So Service Master Restore by Schmader. When disaster strikes, that's who you want to get a hold of. Also, thank you to our existing sponsors, The Best Wrestler, thebestwrestler.com. You can learn more about George Ivanoff's story, and also his philosophy on helping young people not just learn about wrestling, but using the sport to create productive adults, because really that's the most we're ever going to be as adults after being young people. And what George is doing at The Best Wrestler is really helping out a lot of young people. And it's also, he's got some champions coming out of there. And he and his dad just do a wonderful job. So go to thebestwrestler.com to learn more about that. Just Sue Creative. Sue, my website is out, by the way, in case you missed it last week. The website is now active, lushillsmedia.com. Take a look. And Sue did a tremendous job, went well beyond anything that I was expecting. And if you click on her website, Just Sue Creative, you can see what she did for herself. Cool. I mean, it's really got a good vibe. Her website does. So go to Just Sue Creative and learn about all of her services. And she and I are actually partnering on some things too. So, and I'm excited about that as we continue to move forward. Rick Graybill at Foxco Fabrication, when you need something special done, and maybe, we've talked about the cup that I have back here. I'm trying to see, can I point at this? This is not a green screen, by the way. Rick made that for me. He's working on a sign that we're going to be able to hang up behind us and really make this look like a set. And I won't have a deer head hanging up over the top of my head anymore. And that's all on the way. But foxcofab.com, if you need something custom done out of metal, you can see some examples that are on his website. He does welding. He also creates flatbeds for trucks. All of these things. Head on over to foxcofab.com and take a look at that. If you have an idea of something or a story that you would like to see on Morning Coffee, send me an email, toddstuder@gmail.com, and let me know about it. I do my best to learn about different things that are out there, such as my latest podcast conversation, this one with Jamie Bush on Campfire Conversations. Jamie has a shop in Neola that is called the Unique Boutique, Iowa. Really cool place. And but that's just one of the many, many things that Jamie's doing. And that is the latest episode that is out. Again, Campfire Conversations. You can find links to it on the website. You can find it here where you're watching this episode, whether it be on YouTube or on Facebook. And we are also always looking for guests to be on that as well. And again, thank you to everyone that was part of my weekend that made it so special. I'm very, very thrilled, and I'm still recovering. It was kind of busy, but I did enjoy it. Sorry, Husker fans. Sorry, Hawkeye fans. Cyclone fans, congratulations. You're having one of those magical seasons. So continue on, and we'll see just how far Cyclone Nation can take that team. That I got a feeling that they're going to be right in the mix for the Big 12 championship. That's going to wrap things up this morning on Morning Coffee. Thank you so much for listening. We'll be back again tomorrow. My name's Todd Studer. Have a great Monday.